Welcome to this session today. I'm now going to show you how to prepare and present Dorper sheep for show and sale. So the first thing that I actually do is we put a halter on them and I tie them up very tight. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to just hose him right down, and that is mainly to get all of the dirt and the grime out of him, but not only that, just to really settle him. I know it does look a little bit strange, but the more that you do it, the more they actually do settle. Right, there you go, buddy. So now all I do is you just get morning fresh. It's probably the cheapest thing that you can use on them. Give them put quite a lot on, and then this is where you all of a sudden, this is where you get your hands on. So you really get in and scrub them. Now we're going to give him a good old blast again. So then we'll just take a towel and we just run a towel over him and try and get as much as that water out of his coat as we possibly can. There we go. So he is now ready. We'll just let him dry off just a little bit in the sunlight. Not that there's much today, but we just let him dry off a little bit so he's not too wet for shearing. Anyway, so where we start off now is we generally start at the back line. You start at the back line and you shear down. I use a 20 blade comb with the cutters. What we do is we start sort of at the base of the neck here, and we shear him all the way down under his belly. And then once we finish that on both sides, we actually then shear him up. So he gets shorn twice. This will give you a really, really nice velvety finish. You don't need a lot of pressure. You actually only just run the combs down very, very lightly. Just be mindful not to catch their skin. But as you can see, it's coming off really, really well. So that's just starting from his back line down. So there's your first pass over. As you can see, you've just got all of the long wool off now, the hair and wool off now. So now this is a really important part where we actually we get in and we shear him upwards, and then that will take off the long wool and it'll give him a nice clear coat. Yeah, alrighty, so now I might just put him down a little bit and I'll do his head. So I generally start at the back and I move forward. Now you don't have to go two ways. I only shear one way. So you just got to make sure that you get in behind their ears, up the side of their face. Now he's got little spurs, so it's a little bit difficult to get in. Sometimes you'll have a ram that'll really, really fight you. But if you get into those little spur buds and take as much off as you possibly can. Okay, now that we've shorn him right off and we've done his head and his body and everything, so What we do now is we take a small pair of scissors and we just trim around his tail to make his tail region nice and even, so there's no loose hairs there or anything, just so it's all nicely trimmed. And so you see the difference in now his tail looks a lot better, that he's trimmed up nicely. So there, then we can go down and then you can trim off any, because we don't shear right down to their feet and what have you. You can just trim off any hair that's hanging around. We actually do look at their feet if they're going into a show. We look at their feet. Now he's just a young ram that you can see his feet don't really need trimming. But I will trim them up just before he goes a little bit, just to make them nice and even, because like anyone's toenails, they grow long. And well, I'll get him out and I'll put a show halter on him for the first time and we'll see how we go. Okay, now that he's had his show preparation, I'm just going to teach you or try and show you how I stand them up and what I do. Hold them tight because you need to show the judge their head. Try and keep his head up a little bit. Now you look at your animal and you look to see how his legs are positioned. Well, he's looking quite fine at the moment. This leg here could go back a little bit. So if you just either grab them and touch them a little bit. Sometimes you just, with your foot, you just touch their foot. Or you pull it and put it down. But all the time, just trying to keep them really relaxed. Give them a rub, keep them relaxed. Always show the judge their head nice and straight. There you go. He came out of the paddock yesterday. I think he's come up pretty well. Thank you.